In 2024, Poland confirmed one of the most expensive construction projects in Europe's history. The $9 billion Solidarity Transport Hub. Just 40 kilometers outside Warsaw, in the fields of Baranów, engines are preparing to move earth that will reshape a nation. It's a project so large it will replace villages, reroute highways, and build an airport bigger than 3 cities combined. But one question remains: why would a country spend so much on something most of its citizens didn't even want? For some, this hub represents a national dream, a new symbol of modern Poland, ready to rise and compete with Europe's biggest economies. For others, it's a nightmare, a story of displacement, politics, and broken promises. When finished, it's expected to handle 44 million passengers every year, linking the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea, and redefining Europe's aviation map forever. It's more than an airport. It's Poland's gamble for the future. A battle between vision and resistance, between progress and protest. Stay till the end, because this isn't just about an airport. It's about how one country, against all odds, is trying to build the new heart of Europe. In the 1970s, under the leadership of Edward Gierek, Poland dreamed of building a central airport that could rival Europe's biggest hubs. It was called the Centralny Port Komunikacyjny, or simply, the Central Communication Port. For its time, the idea was too bold, too expensive, and far ahead of Poland's economy. So the plan was quietly shelved, left to collect dust in government archives. But the dream never truly died. For decades, it stayed alive in engineers' notebooks, university studies, and political debates, a symbol of what modern Poland could one day become. Then, in 2017, the Law and Justice Party brought it back to life. They called it the Solidarity Transport Hub, a name filled with national pride and historic meaning. This wasn't just about planes and passengers. It was about identity, about proving that Poland could stand as a gateway between East and West. For the government, it was a mission. For critics, it was a gamble. Old politics was meeting new ambition, and neither was ready to give up. Even today, you can find those original 1970s blueprints in Polish archives, stamped with one simple label: CPK, the future. It took half a century of waiting, but now, the world's eyes are back on Baranów. So what would it take to bring a 50-year-old dream back to life? About 40 kilometers southwest of Warsaw, between the capital and Łódź, lies a patch of land that Poland chose to change forever. This is Baranów, the future home of the Solidarity Transport Hub. Once quiet farmland, it's now mapped to become one of Europe's biggest airports. Engineers plan a terminal covering 450,000 square meters, able to serve 44 million passengers every year. They call it a city within a city. Every runway, bridge, and track is designed like a living system, able to expand without closing, doubling in size as demand grows. It's modular, smart, and built for the next 100 years of travel. But while planners see the future, locals see loss. For generations, these fields held homes, schools, and churches. Now, they're marked for demolition. The government promises jobs and growth. Residents fear displacement and noise. For them, this isn't just a project. It's a struggle between identity and innovation. When finished, the hub will be 3 times larger than Warsaw Chopin Airport and connected by new highways and high-speed rail. To some, it's progress. To others, it's erasure. And yet, despite the protests and politics, the dream moves forward, one blueprint at a time. But what kind of architecture could match a project this ambitious? The design of the Solidarity Transport Hub isn't just a project. It's a statement. It was given to Foster Plus Partners, the same British studio behind Apple Park, London's Gherkin, and Beijing Capital Airport. They were told to design not only an airport, but a national symbol. The result is a $9 billion blueprint that looks more like art than infrastructure. The terminal will have 3 operational levels, 140 to 170 check-in desks, and multiple expansion zones ready for future growth. Every part of the plan is future-proof, able to handle 44 million passengers at launch, and double that within a decade. But beneath the glass and steel lies meaning. The roof's sweeping curves mirror the wings of Poland's white eagle, the symbol of freedom and resilience. It's a quiet message written in architecture. Poland rising again, stronger and unified. Yet even beauty has a price. As the design soared, the finances began to sink. Experts warned the 2028 opening was impossible. and costs were climbing faster than cranes. Still, construction continues, fueled by ambition, politics, and national pride. Because for Poland, this project isn't just about flying, it's about proving it can. But what keeps this dream alive when the costs and controversy keep rising? Beneath the Solidarity Transport Hub, another project is quietly reshaping Poland's future. This isn't about planes, it's about speed on the ground. A vast high-speed rail network will connect every major Polish city in under 2.5 hours. From Gdansk to Krakow, Poznan to Lublin, every line will flow into one point, the airport itself. For the first time, planes and trains will share the same heartbeat. Engineers call it Europe's new transport spine. But the vision doesn't stop at Poland's borders. The network will stretch to Berlin, Prague, and Vienna, linking Western Europe to the Baltic states and beyond. For millions, this means more than faster travel. It means connection. It means students, workers, and families crossing countries with ease, shrinking the distance between East and West. The airport becomes the anchor, and the rail lines its veins, pumping movement through an entire continent. It's a level of integration no other European hub has achieved from day one. But with such complexity, every minute matters. Planes landing, trains arriving, thousands moving in sync. One delay could ripple through nations. The system must be perfect. Politics must be faster than bureaucracy, and technology must stay one step ahead. But can politics really keep up with innovation this fast? The Solidarity Transport Hub started as a national plan, but it quickly became a political fight. In 2017, the Polish parliament approved the project, backed by the Law and Justice Party. The budget was set at $9 billion, and the target date was 2028. It was promoted as proof of Poland's growth and European ambition. But every new government turned it into a campaign issue. Supporters said it would bring jobs, connections, and respect. Critics said it was a waste, built for votes, not people. In Baranov, where the airport will rise, villagers feared losing their homes and farms. For some, the project became a symbol of pride. For others, it became a sign of power misuse. Even inside the government, opinions were split. Some wanted to push forward fast. Others warned of debt and delay. The project's codename inside the government was Project Eagle, meant to show strength and national unity. But instead, it revealed division and tension. Now Poland faces one question that still divides the nation. Build it or stop it. After the 2023 elections, Donald Tusk's coalition ordered a full audit of the Solidarity Transport Hub. It was the first major review since the project began in 2017. The report shocked the country. Auditors found mismanagement, inflated costs, and unrealistic timelines. Billions were already spent, but progress was far behind schedule. For a short time, it looked like the dream was over. The new government questioned every plan, every deal, every number. Critics said it was proof of political failure. Supporters warned that stopping now would waste years of work. By June 2024, the government made its decision. The project would continue, but on a smaller and restructured scale. Instead of canceling, they planned to cut costs and simplify the design. Too much money, too much land, and too many contracts were already in motion to walk away. Over 1 billion zloty had already gone into land purchases, planning, and design. Workers returned to the site, but not with the same excitement. The audits left scars of doubt and division. For many, the Solidarity Transport Hub no longer felt like a symbol of pride. It felt like a test of patience. But while the government debated numbers, another storm was brewing. What about the people who never wanted this airport at all? At the heart of the project lies Baranov, a quiet Polish town now facing massive change. This is where the Solidarity Transport Hub is being built, but not everyone sees it as progress. In 2018, 84% of local residents voted against the project in a public referendum. For them, this wasn't just land, it was home. Their fields, houses, and memories stood directly on the planned construction zone. Generations had lived here long before anyone dreamed of a super airport. Some families trace their land ownership back to the 1700s. Now, all of it stands on borrowed time. The government launched compensation programs to help families relocate, but many say trust was already broken. Meetings turned tense. Protests spread through villages. Signs appeared on fences reading, "Hands off our homes." To many locals, this wasn't about airports or progress. It was about dignity and belonging. The national government calls it development, but the people living here call it displacement. It's a clash between national vision and personal survival, between progress for millions and pain for hundreds. And even now, as construction plans move forward, many still ask, if the people reject it, why does the government still fight so hard to build it? Behind the talk of tourism and trade, there's a deeper reason the Solidarity Transport Hub is moving fast. It's not just an airport, it's a strategic asset. The location, just 40 kilometers from Warsaw, puts it at the center of NATO's eastern flank. For the military, that means something powerful. A logistical hub that connects Western Europe to the Baltic states and Ukraine's border zone. In early NATO briefings, the site was quietly listed as Strategic Airpoint Bravo. That name wasn't public, but it revealed the truth. The runways, rail links, and fuel depots being built for civilian use could also serve military operations in hours of crisis. Planners described it as a dual-use facility, ready for troop movement, medical evacuation, or supply transport in emergencies. That's why canceling the project isn't simple. It's no longer only Poland's dream. It's part of Europe's defense network. Behind every blueprint and budget debate stands one unspoken reality: security. If the airport stops, NATO's supply chain weakens. And if it continues, the costs will rise. But so will Europe's readiness. Now the question has changed from should we build it to can we afford not to? Because with stakes this high, how much is too much to spend on security and survival? The Solidarity Transport Hub began as a $9 billion plan. Today, that number has grown to over $30 billion. The reasons are clear: global inflation, land buyouts, and constant design changes. Every year adds more costs and more questions. Critics now call it Europe's next ghost project. They say it's too big, too late, and too risky, but canceling it isn't cheap either. Ending the project now would cost almost as much as finishing it. So despite the pressure, construction continues. Work crews keep moving soil, pouring concrete, and laying rails. Even in its scaled-down form, the Solidarity Hub is still the largest airport project in Europe. Supporters say it will change Poland's future. Opponents say it will drain its present. Inside government meetings, one question keeps returning. Should Poland choose prestige or practicality? Is this a national victory or a financial gamble? No matter the answer, the world is watching. Because the next challenge isn't steel or concrete, it's belief. Belief that this project can unite a nation that's been divided for years. And belief that what rises in Baranov will stay standing for generations. But what secret purpose could make this airport truly untouchable? The Solidarity Transport Hub isn't just an airport, it's a strategic signal. It shows the world that Poland has moved from the edge of Europe to its center. The hidden purpose goes far beyond passengers and rail. Its runways, storage systems, and logistics zones quietly serve NATO's supply chain, energy reserves, and rapid troop movement. What began as a transport dream has turned into a geopolitical tool. A nation once invaded is now building the runway for its own defense. Ambition costs billions, but surrender costs more. Those empty fields near Warsaw are becoming the foundations of Europe's strength. Sometimes the biggest airports don't just connect cities, they connect history to destiny. By 2032, the Solidarity Transport Hub will rise where farmland once stood. A symbol of persistence, politics, and Polish pride. It started as a dream, faced decades of doubt, and still found a way to rise. It proves that even in uncertainty, vision can outlast resistance. Subscribe for more cinematic stories showing how nations build legacies from blueprints and belief. Would you support a $30 billion project to reshape your country's future? Tell us, is Poland's ambition madness or masterpiece?